Good morning, guys. All right, another day. Let's go in and check out, see what's going on with this STI here. Made a decent amount of progress. Looks like Justin has his checklist here. So the engine's in the car. Yep. Showed you guys that last time, and what do we got going on for today?
This is my rough list. I'm sure I've missed and left out a couple of things, minus all this stuff, but this is what we got to get together today so that we can get this engine at least cranking with some oil pressure. Might not fire, but at least it'll crank with some oil pressure, but kind of just got to go off these things one by one. Goal is to have engine cranking under its own power today, by the end of the day.
All right, let's see what happens.
All right, all the parts are installed, and we have removed a fuse, so that way we have no fuel pressure, as well as no spark to the ignition coil, so we can just freely crank this engine over until we generate some oil pressure. Make sure everything is copacetic before we actually put some fire to it. Okay, so we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Forgot to load the base map before we actually start to crank. This thing, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. This car's been here for a while, so let's go to the bottom of the pile here. Nothing there. Okay, this box is too new, so gotta be one of these. Hopefully. Too many of these damn cars and too many of these damn builds to finish. Survey says 04 STI, sweet. Okay, time to load base map. Of course we have to update first. Oh, and I clicked no. Why was no highlighted? I don't even know what I'm reading. I'm just accepting it because I want to get through this. Update the program and update the access port too. Update it all. Oh, yes, finally. Fucking computers do what they're supposed to do. All right, first time connecting power in this thing ever. Not really sure what's gonna happen. Lights, horn, alarm, smoke and sizzle. Who knows? Survey says, well, we definitely have either four-way flashers or alarm. Passive. But I can live with that. Alright, let's load the program. Fancy original STI key. Fire up this cluster. We have lights. That's a score. 87,000. Yeah. Low mileage chassis. Wicked. You know, this whole watched pot never boils proverb thing. A watched access port takes forever to upload. Oh, 50% people, we're halfway there. So slow. You're gonna have a hell of a time editing this, Dom. 3, 2, 100, yeah, sure. Boom. Ready to rock and roll. I'm no expert, but I think it helps to have oil in it before you crank it. Ooh. But the good stuff for this. The green oil. Break it in right. Like it literally is green. It's kind of cool. A little weird, but kind of cool. It's also straight 30 weight. Don't really like multi-viscosity for break-in oil, especially for initial startup, because I mean we're literally just gonna start it, run it, get it up to operating temperature, heat cycle it, vary RPMs a little bit for cam break-in, and then drain the oil again. This is not shameless advertising or plugging, by the way. This is just emptying the rest of it into the car because it's expensive, so I want every last drop. Okay, I think maybe now we crank. Verified. Okay. This is now the second attempt to crank this car. I wonder if we have to put this fuse in, the one that I thought would be really cool to take out. Okay, so now fuse is in because we have to, because it powers too many other things. We have crank sensor disconnected. Third attempt cranking the car. Oh, this is not good. Do we just have a bad starter? Could it be something as stupid as that? Can you see the signal wire going up to the starter? For some reason I have a feeling like that's not on there.
Yeah, you weren't plugged in.
I knew it. I had no distinct memory of plugging it in, so. Okay, attempt number 4. Here we go, this is the one. Cool, all right, I'm gonna spin a filter on this thing, we'll get some oil pressure. All right, so Dom's out there filling up our filter, about to put it on so we can get actual oil pressure on the gauge and verify. Whole reason we're doing this actually is because we do not have a oil pressurization pump or machine or anything to prime the engine first. It's one of those toys that I kind of always wanted, and maybe at some point we'll get it, but for this build.
Everybody thinks that we're unaware of that tool.
Yeah, no.
We are aware of it.
We would, if Melling or somebody would love to see this and maybe send us one, we'd be more than happy to use it all the time, trust me. It would save us this whole hassle, but this is what we do to make sure that we don't have any kind of problems. Okay, so there we are now with the filter on, cranking for pressure for real this time. Is there something wrong with my cluster here? Because I don't even have a low oil pressure light. Well, that's interesting. Is the oil pressure sending unit plugged in? Let's investigate this real quick. All right, so Dom is messing around, grounding out the terminal for the oil pressure sensor, and as you can see, we do have an oil light that works, which means we've got a dead sensor. That is not on. Coolant. How about this long block, short block right over here? I told my dad not to bother because I got a million of those. Boom! Okay. I can tell you this much, you would have had a leak. Why?
Because it wasn't tight. It would have been a pressurized, oh God, what's leaking sort of moment.
Fantastical.
Had to be bench tested to make sure that this one was good. Maybe that's why he blew his motor. He had no idea that he had no oil pressure.
That's true. Boom. One of the nice things about having a ton of spare parts and engines. Wah, wah. Straight up in the fan shroud? The bolt just dropped in the fan shroud. Did that just happen?
No, it didn't.
Sounded like it.
It's just been a long day. Where did it go?
Where did it go?
It didn't hit the ground either.
No, that's the worst thing, when you hear all the tinking and clinking, but it never actually hits the ground. Just so the folks at home know, this is what happens. You lose one little bolt or one little socket, always the 10 mil, and you spend more time looking for the damn thing than doing the initial job in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, crisis averted. What was it, on top of the crossover pipe for the exhaust?
No, it was in the fan shroud.
Oh, it was in the fan shroud.
I just couldn't see it.
Goddamn fan shroud. Get this thing out the tap, we would have definitely found it in there.
Yeah.
Okay, ready for official test?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, back for official key on self-test, and survey says we have an oil light. Okay, so now we crank away. Not too long so don't overheat the starter, but you know what we're talking about. Oh, there we go, it's out. We officially have factory spec oil pressure. That means this thing's ready to fire.
Okay, it's turning into a bit of a long video, but just to let you guys know, we have not started this, so this is going to be our true reaction.
Yeah,
whether something bad happens or not, this is it.
Yeah, no camera tricks, no time.
No, we haven't already made sure that it runs. We're gonna do it right now.
It's gonna blow up. It's gonna blow up right now. So, here we go. Oh, you know what we haven't done?
What?
We haven't even checked to make sure the fuel lines don't leak. I do hear the pump priming though, which is good.
I don't see or smell anything, so I think you're just afraid to start it.
Man, this right now is Schrodinger's STI. It's both working and not working at the same time because we haven't started it yet. Here we go. Fire the hole.
Oh my god. Okay.
A little smoked out.
A little bit.
Woo! Might be some oil left in the exhaust from the previous engine burn.
Yeah, that's true. So